on your car and that airbag light stays on. For me it's gone now because I took care of the problem, but I'm gonna just walk you through the steps I followed. It's not very labor intensive, but I think it's more of the very careful and very delicate work. Anytime you're doing something with the airbag, you have to be very cautious and follow these steps line by line, or the guidelines line by line. So again, follow this video at your own risk. If you're not feeling comfortable to do it, always take it to the professional and let them handle it. For depowering the SRS system, go towards the passenger side. So you are at the passenger side, and I took the glove box already because that's what we're gonna do next. But the very first thing you do even before you start is go underneath the glove box. You don't have to take out the glove box yet. Go underneath there. You will see this kind of a dust cover. It's kind of hooked up like this, right? And it'll have these two connectors. Just pull these, right? It comes, if you pull it straight, it'll come out. Then take out this dust cover, right? And then you will see the fuse box or the fuse panel in the passenger, towards the passenger side. What you're looking for is this one. It's number 86. Even if it is also, if you look up user manual or owner's manual, you'll find this is a fuse which is for airbag system. So pull this one out. Okay, make sure your car is turned off, ignition is off. Pull this one out. Okay, then go ahead and turn on your ignition. Now you will see the airbag light is either flashing or either stays on. For me it was staying on, but in the service manual they've said it could be flashing as well. But yeah, once you pull this one off, keep the ignition on. Don't start your car, just turn the accessory mode on for 1 minute. Let it depower itself. So that's first step. Then after a minute, turn the ignition off and then go towards your battery. Disconnect the battery from the front engine bay, and then wait for 1 more minute. I will give 2 or 3, 4 minutes just to be on the safe side. It's better to be safe than sorry. So yeah, 2 steps to depower. First, disconnect the fuse or take out the fuse, turn the ignition on, let it depower, and then go ahead and disconnect the battery, wait for another minute, and let it completely depower the whole system. So that's how you depower the SRS system. Go in the reverse sequence. First connect this the pin amp fuse back in, then connect the battery and go ahead and put the car in the accessory mode. Give it a minute, let it charge, and then you can start the car. A lot of time, due to the vibrations in the car and due to regular use from all that vibrations, the connectors can come loose, and the loose connections can trigger those codes because of the higher resistance than the threshold. To just play with the connectors and make sure they are not loose, what you're gonna do, you have to take out the glove box. For that, you have to take, I'll show you, these are the screws which we took out. They use a T25 star socket, and you have to take in total 6 screws. I'll show you the places. So first you have to take out this little plastic panel. You have to get the moldings, door seal moldings out, right, and then you'll be able to pry this plastic panel out of the way. These are all anchored in, so there are no screws. You can just pry it out. Again, use something like a plastic prying tool so that you don't put scratches on the panel. Then you will see 2 more, you will get access to 2 screws for the glove box removal. One would be here and one would be here. So get these two screws out and then go underneath the glove box. Right behind these anchors, you will see two more screws. I can show you from the top, like right towards the, turn on some light right there. So right towards the very end, yeah, right towards the very end right here, and the other one is there. You will get two more screws, so that makes it 4. And then open the glove box door, and then you can access two more screws right here. So get these 6 screws out, and then all you have to do is just pry out the glove box. So that comes out. Once the glove box is out of the way, you have access to the SRS system, passenger side. So these are the 3, let me see if you can see that. Yeah, so these are the 3 connectors we're talking about. 1, 2, and then one at the very end right there, the third one, right? Let me try to use something like this for marking. Yeah, so this is the third one. Okay, when you're working with the SRS connectors, be very careful. You don't want to break their locking tooth, so that again it doesn't come loose and throws the airbag cord. So yeah, you have to be very careful with these connectors. They follow particular directions and procedures to first unlock the connector and then pull it out. So first you go in sequence. First you take out this connector. So for taking out this connector, let me show you if I can exactly show you where it locks itself. I'm right underneath the passenger glove box and looking up those connectors. So the first connector would be this one. That's actually called the canister vent connector. If you can see closely on that connector, you can see an orange tab right there. An orange tab, that's what you have to pull out. So it's gonna pull out. So right in direction of my finger, you have to pull it outwards. So you'll put a pry tool towards this end and try to pull this out. So once you pull that out, again it might take a little bit time and patience, but you have to be very delicate with it. You don't want to break it. So pry that thing, locking tab out, and then you can pull the connector out. And once you get that connector out, again go in sequence, do one by one, get that connector out. And once that connector is out, put some dielectric grease on it. You can buy the dielectric grease from Walmart or Home Depot or even auto parts store, and put some dry dielectric grease. You of course, because you cannot see the pins, you have to just put it in this piece of connector, and then it automatically applies it to the connector pin. So I put it in this connector, and it automatically got applied to that sensor pins. And then I took out, again you see these are same kind of connectors. I would say take one by one, apply the dielectric grease, put it back, and then open the other one. You don't want to mess up the sequence here. So on this one, so the locking tab on this one, how it comes out, again the orange piece is the locking tab. This one pulls down, so you're gonna try to pry it down. Again, it might take a little bit of pressure and patience, but you don't want to break it. Not too much pressure, just a little bit. Use a pry tool to try to push it down, or a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver. So this is gonna push down. This connector will come, this locking tab will come down. Then you can take the connector out. Once you take this out, you can, in this case, because if you are underneath the glove box, you can totally see those connected pins. Apply some in there. I can, just to be safe, I would also apply some dielectric grease inside the socket, the connector, and I pushed once, then push that in, then apply the same thing here. Different colors, so you probably won't be able to mix and match. You won't be able to mess it up unless you are not paying attention. But yeah, I would still be on a safer side. Take one by one, apply the dielectric grease, put it back. Once the whole process is done, if this does not work, then something wrong with either the sensor I showed you on this side, or it could be the airbag module. But then this is where you go further from here.